it's always local, always now. This is Fox 19 Now at 10.
New information continues to come to light in the case of Heather Atkins. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Trisha Mackey.
And I'm Rob Williams. She's the Indiana mother accused of abandoning her 5-year-old son, Martin, in Colerain Township Thursday night.
Well, she sits in jail tonight for the first time, and we are speaking with Martin's father, who's also locked up on unrelated charges. We're also learning that the little boy's grandmother has something to say as well.
Jessica Schmidt joins us live with what they had to say in an update you will see only right here on Fox 19 Now.
Well, we are live here outside the Colerain Township Police Department because it is the investigators here who believe that Heather Atkins is responsible for leaving her son, Martin Thomas Atkins, stranded alongside a road right here in Colerain. Well, today I did speak with Martin's father, Kevin Atkins, over the phone from a jail in Indiana. Both he and his mother, Kathy, say they are shocked by these accusations. And at this point, they told me they have one question for Heather. Why?
I just want to make sure to get my side of the story out because it's always been her side of the story, never been mine.
That's the voice of Kevin Atkins speaking from inside the Shelby County, Indiana jail. Kevin's ex-wife, Heather Atkins, is accused of dumping one of the couple's 3 children in Colerain Thursday night.
She is a very good person, but she makes wise, dumb choices. I bet she's sitting in her cell right now crying her off.
Passerbys, police say, found their child, Martin Thomas Atkins, walking alone. Martin, 5 at the time, is nonverbal and autistic.
He's a prankster. He loves to joke around. He's got a good heart.
Jail records show Kevin has been locked up since February 2nd for possession of meth and driving while suspended. He says he's hoping to bond out soon.
I just feel like a piece of because I can't be there for my kids right now.
Both Kevin and his mother, Martin's grandmother, Kathy Atkins, say they didn't know about Heather's plans. The two tell me they were stunned when police told them what Martin went through.
He did survive. I'm glad. Thank God he did. You know, he got killed that night.
I was not the man enough to be there for my kids, protect them. Because if I was there, this not even happen.
We're told Heather dropped their other 2 children off at a friend's home in Tennessee the same day Martin was abandoned. Those 2 boys are reportedly still in that woman's care.
The girl told my son that Heather come down there, brought the 2 down there, and she was crying and said she'd be back in a few days to get them. And nothing was said about why she did that to Martin or nothing. Nobody even knew that she did it.
As for Kevin, he admits he's made mistakes in the past. The father of 3 has a criminal history and says he and Heather have substance abuse issues. But in Kevin and Kathy's eyes, there's no excuse for Heather's behavior because they say there are family members who would have helped and taken Martin in.
You know what? I made bad choices and done drugs myself. You know what? I never done that. I never threw my kids out on the side of the road from nobody. I was there for my kids. One minute I want to cry, the next minute I just want to be mad at her, and you know, my feelings are going back and forth. I can't understand why she did it. Any mother that does that shouldn't be a mother.
Kathy did also tell me that Martin's birthday was actually yesterday, which means he is now 6 years old. And we do also know tonight that he is in foster care. Kevin says he would like to thank the person who found his son wandering alone here in Colerain Township. He also says he would like all 3 of his boys to be together. So I'm told tonight there is another relative who is now trying to get custody of all 3 kids to make that happen. We're live in Colerain tonight. I'm Jessica Schmidt, Fox 19 Now. The investigation into Cincinnati police officer Christopher Schroeder started in June of 2021 after an audit of the criminal investigation section took place. That's when Schroeder was first accused of not following up on DNA testing related to rape cases. His police powers were suspended in August.
He's accused of doing nothing, okay? He literally had active cases where he wasn't doing his job. Things were not being followed up on, and things were left, for instance, at the coroner's office that should have been picked up.
Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters says this is something that could impact hundreds of investigations. His office is now looking at cases where Schroeder was involved or testified. Cincinnati police say they're doing the same.
It's going to be hundreds of cases we will probably have to be reviewing up to 1,000 cases to make a determination as to his effect on that case. If he tainted a prosecution that was successful by the prosecutors, we may have to retry the case. The statute of limitations may have run. There's a whole variety of things that we're going to have to take into account in dealing with this problem.
According to Dieters, Schroeder's decision to not do his job could mean there are rapists who were identified through DNA testing walking free.
Unfortunately, the damage he has caused may be irreparable to some people, and for that, I feel horrible about it.
Records show Schroeder has been with CPD since 1999 and with the Criminal Investigation Section since July 2007. The 52-year-old was transferred to District 1 in July of this year. Schroeder's attorney, Mike Allen, says personal issues prevented Schroeder from doing his job.
He was having some problems, family problems at the time. A family member, a close family member, died. And he got into a situation where he let some things go. I'm not offering that, nor is he, as an excuse or a justification, but as an explanation.
Allen says the allegations stem from 3 cases, and he says Schroeder is, quote, extremely remorseful.
He made a mistake. He's going to pay for it, but I am not going to stand by and have him accused of dumping 1,000 or 100 rape kits. Didn't happen. He was a good cop for a long time. This happened. He's going to pay the price for it. I don't want him to be painted as some kind of Satan, because he's not.
Allen says a plea deal is happening. As part of that, he says Schroeder will face a maximum 90-day sentence and will resign from the police department.
He is going to plead guilty to a misdemeanor of the 2nd degree, dereliction of duty. I've got the paperwork. We've already talked to the judge. I believe it'll take place sometime next week.
There have been some discussions of some kind of a plea that I have not signed off on yet. The plea, although important to us, is, and one of the things that's very important to me, is that he's never a police officer again.
Police records list this 30-year-old woman as a victim, but to her friends and family members, she is a survivor.
Lucky that I got away unscathed, as I'm here.
The woman, who asked to remain anonymous for her own safety, is a frequent runner. On a Thursday afternoon in March 2020, she and a friend went to the Mount Airy Forest to exercise and ended up on different trails. The woman says she made it about a mile when she came face to face with a sizable stranger.
I stepped off to the side to let him pass, and as soon as that happened, he grabbed me and from the side and just threw me down.
Realizing she couldn't overtake him physically, she tried to talk him out of it.
Trying to fight him off for so long, or just trying to hold off anything, hoping someone would walk by. Sorry, I'm gonna cry. I kept thinking of my little sister and my mom.
For about 30 minutes, the woman says the man repeatedly attempted to rape her. She says he used his hands to cover her nose and mouth to stop her from screaming. At times, she ended up losing consciousness.
No emotion, just kind of like this blank look in his eyes. He kept trying to touch me. He would pull my head down. He was strangling me while I was on the trail.
The man was eventually spooked by nearby sounds. Before he took off, the woman says he stripped her of most of her clothes and hit her in the back of the head with a rock.
He made me sit, telling me not to move. I did, because I knew he could have killed me. He could have really hurt me more than he did.
Good Samaritans helped her find her friend and call the police.
I didn't want to be outside by myself for a long time. I mean, definitely there's more mace. There's a taser at my house now. There's a ring that you can wear that's hard plastic.
Weeks later, she and a sketch artist came up with this image of the suspect, which was released by Cincinnati police. The woman says her loved ones have shared it hundreds of times. Despite possible tips, he has not been caught. Now, that same drawing is being linked to another assault that happened at the park in September.
I'm angry that he wasn't caught. Was able to get away. I just don't want people to fear this place. Be cautious and be safe.